So our story begins with Frieza now in his final form, looking on with a smile at the damaged Bardock and Vegeta, who both seem to be in a state of shock after figuring out that Bardock has not yet become a Super Saiyan as previously expected, with Frieza beginning, So, it seems even after all that big talk, it was all for nothing, wasn't it, monkeys? You almost had me convinced for a second even my final form wouldn't be enough. Silly me. Damn it, Vegeta! What the hell do we do now? This is as far as I can go, and somehow, I don't think Frieza has shown us everything he's got left in the tank. While Vegeta momentarily remains quiet before letting out, Quiet, Bardock! Relax. Maybe you won't need to become a Super Saiyan. You're far stronger than Kakarot or I was when he first fought him. You might be able to pull this off. But as Bardock and Vegeta bicker and formulate possibilities, a strange purple aura begins to surround Frieza's entire body, as each of his muscles begin to bulge, before Frieza sinisterly says, I have no idea what you two monkeys are planning. Maybe you're saying your last prayers, but I intend to finish this now before you two pull a fast one. Allow me to show you the true power of my final form. Witness the great Frieza's power at 100%! I forgot about that! Vegeta, now remembering that Frieza can indeed power up again, begins to accept the situation and closes his eyes and breathes out loudly. Fine. I wanted to just sit back and watch your demise at the hand of a Saiyan. But I guess if you want a job done right, you have to do it yourself. It's fine. I'll just watch this back on CALLMEARJ's YouTube channel. And with this, Vegeta begins to take off his mask, finally revealing who he actually is before quickly dispatching of Frieza. Huh? But suddenly, Vegeta's arm is grabbed from the right mysteriously, and standing there as the man stopping Vegeta is none other than Bardock, who with a serious face stares at Frieza and declares, Stop, my prince. This is my fight. We all know what would happen if you stepped in. Not only would you cause untold damage to the fabric of reality in this timeline by showing a power level like yours so prematurely, but there would also be no honor or fun in beating someone so weak in comparison. As you said, as a Saiyan who was an adult at this point in time, it was and is up to me to save Planet Vegeta with my own power. After all, I'm a Saiyan like you. And if both you and Kakarot can become a Super Saiyan, then damn it, so can I! I will defeat Frieza here and now! Just like that, Bardock lets go of Vegeta's arm and powers up with one final roar, putting everything he has left on the line, yelling, Frieza! Let's do this! Before he then rushes off at speed at Frieza yelling, Die! But of course, the confident Frieza just smiles, saying, The fool. Come now, monkey. It is indeed time to die. But only one of their lines proves true, as Bardock's first attack is battered away as if nothing by a still smirking Frieza, leading to Bardock landing far off the Emperor. Still in a fit of rage, Bardock then immediately returns with an axe kick, this time from Frieza's back, but it is met with a still cocky smile. Bardock then desperately and repeatedly kicks the evil conqueror over and over, yelling as he squeezes every last ounce of power within him left, but Frieza continues to block and goads him. What a pointless effort. To think you had me even a little worried. You're just like the rest of the monkeys in the end. But just as Frieza's confidence reaches its peak, suddenly Bardock vanishes. Huh? Now where did that cockroach go? When I get my hands back on him? But out of nowhere, Bardock returns, punching the unexpected Frieza straight across the face, yelling, Stop underestimating us, Frieza! You're nothing to us Saiyans! But in an instant counter, Frieza's tail then grabs onto Bardock's arm as he moves away. What are you? As suddenly, Bardock feels the G-force of being pulled immediately across the battlefield towards Frieza. Come here, monkey. I have a banana for you. Here! As with the back of his hand, Frieza then smacks Bardock across the face, sending him flying. Spinning in the air while Frieza smirks, declaring, "We aren't done here yet, monkey. Show me why I shouldn't underestimate you." Suddenly, then grabbing Bardock by the face, who stares back petrified, unable to react, as a ball of energy begins to form right in front of him. And in a massive flash of smoke, Frieza detonates his blast and leaves Bardock seemingly lost in a cloud of ash and smoke. No! Bardock, you fool! Damn it! I should have stepped in! Leaving Vegeta now panicking that their once simple and playful plan has now taken a turn for the worse. But luckily, Bardock does still survive, just barely, now with his armor all broken off and covered in bruises, as through the smoke, the now soft-spoken Bardock mutters, "It took everything I had to survive that. Frieza is truly unpredictable. Come on, what can I do here? Wait a second." As soon Bardock, looking around, notices that Frieza is nowhere to be seen. Did he leave thinking I was dead? Come back here, Frieza! You called, monkey? As Frieza instantaneously then appears by a now completely frightened Bardock. And just as swiftly, Frieza then launches his tail to grip around tightly around the Saiyan's neck, saying, "How about me and you stick together this time? Seems we both have a habit of vanishing into thin air." What the hell is this? Who has a tail this big? And why does it feel so weird? Get it off me, you weirdo! Ha! Not a chance, monkey. No need to feel so insecure. Mine may be bigger, but it's not like you'll live much longer for it to matter, my friend. Don't struggle and die. Huh? This is just like what Frieza did to me on Namek. This isn't good. And just as Vegeta predicted and remembered, Bardock is then brutally attacked in his back by Frieza, coughing up blood and yelling in pain as each blow cracks onto his spine. As the grinning Frieza laughs, "You have no idea how satisfying this feels, Saiyan. Once I've destroyed the lot of you, I must admit, I'll miss this feeling dearly." Bardock, meanwhile, slowly begins losing consciousness and energy as more and more blood comes out of his mouth, whispering, "No, my body's failing me. I can't beat him. He's too strong." But the merciless Frieza, taking pleasure in the pain he's inflicting, just thinks to himself, "I've got to give this monkey credit for still breathing even now. But I should really end this before it's too late. Who knows when his little friend will finally get involved. Time's up, monkey." As Frieza then continues his vicious assault on Bardock's back, now faster and harder than ever before, as every attack begins to draw blood. With the blood loss and pain now at an all-time high, Bardock finally does lose consciousness, with his eyes completely closing as he mutters finally, It's over. I'm sorry, my prince." Now in the depths of his mind, completely numb to the pain outside, Bardock begins to think. So, I'm back here, about to meet that ugly King Yemmer again. But suddenly, a familiar and womanly voice begins to call his name. Bardock! 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 And as Bardock begins to slowly open one of his eyes, he sees the unmistakable clothing of his wife. Huh? Gine? No. Why? Why are you here? Huh? Isn't that Kakarot's mother? Which version is she? This timeline's or ours? This isn't the plan. What's going on? No. Don't tell me. Trunks' warnings came into effect already? We've barely done anything yet. And where's that damn Kakarot? How could he let his mother go out alone? Don't tell me. Did Kakarot somehow get defeated? But while Vegeta panics trying to rationalize what's going on, Frieza with a dastardly smirk spots Gine, saying, "Ha! Another one? Looks like I was right. The longer this goes, the more of these apes that will appear. Luckily, this one seems like an ordinary grunt. I'll finish her now." With that, Frieza suddenly shoots off a small ball of energy, eerily similar to something we'd seen in the Dragon Ball series with Krillin. Gine, meanwhile with her low power level, can hardly even sense what's going on as the speeding attack reaches closer and closer until it hits the very center of her chest. Now realizing what's hit her, Gine innocently then reacts, "Huh? What's this?" But unfortunately, both Vegeta and Bardock sense exactly what was to come next. Damn it! No! It can't be! Frieza! Stop! Gine! Run! Die, monkey! And just like that, in a violent explosion, right before his eyes, Bardock witnesses his wife Gine turn to dust at the hands of his captor and enslaver, Frieza. Gine! Gine! Bardock is left stunned, only able to mutter one word as the color of his skin goes pale, almost as if he too has now died along with his wife. He looks to the ground now, completely silent, before finally... Frieza! And with his eyes now wide open and pupilless, Bardock suddenly roars in anger as a strange golden aura explodes from his body, shocking Frieza in the process, who still has him tightly gripped in his tail. Huh? What's happening? What is this monkey doing now? But little would Frieza know, Bardock's increase in energy was far from over, as he continues to yell in pain and anger with faint tears from his eyes. Slowly releasing so much energy, he begins becoming a light source, so bright even Frieza slowly becomes lost in the illumination, just muttering, "What is this?" Massive explosion of energy and thunder that is so powerful even Vegeta finds himself covering himself. Both Bardock and Frieza are caught inside the sphere of ki, leaving Vegeta in a state of confusion as he too wonders, "Bardock, what have you done? Have you finally done it? Have you become a Super Saiyan?" But soon enough, the dust and smoke of the explosion fades, and all that is left is now a heavily dismembered Frieza, leaking in blood as now his leg and tail are missing parts. Of course, much to the absolute shell shock of Frieza, who just whispers, What have you done to me? My beautiful body! You'll pay. All of you will pay! Huh? But as Frieza's anger builds, little did he know from within the shadows, the rage of his opponent far exceeds his. Frieza! I'll kill you! And just like that, Bardock rushes out of the smoke, now with Super Saiyan hair, but with his pupils curiously missing. And immediately, just as Frieza had done to him, Bardock grabs Frieza's head by his face instantly, this time much harder, so hard that even just the impact nearly knocks out the Emperor. But with full force and speed, Bardock then immediately blasts off once again, taking the in-shock Frieza with him as he handles him like nothing more than a ragdoll. At a ridiculous speed, Bardock flies straight back down into the direction of planet Vegeta, while the struggling to breathe and talk Frieza mumbles, "Get off me, monkey!" Still in space though, and near speechless, Vegeta watches on thinking, "Wait a minute here. That didn't look like any ordinary Super Saiyan. What was that power I sensed? There's no way all that power was just from the first form. He's headed towards planet Vegeta like a maniac. With that kind of force, he could end up blowing planet Vegeta anyway. He must have lost control. Damn you, Bardock!" In response, Vegeta shoots off too at full speed to catch up with the crazed Saiyan. Meanwhile, Bardock and Frieza have already reached well into the atmosphere, right above the royal city of Vegeta, shooting through the air so fast they've set alight, until suddenly, with an enormous crash that obliterates the surrounding buildings, Bardock and Frieza crash to the ground, and inside a crater, Frieza's revealed to have been the cushion which softened the impact. Barely alive now, Frieza, now in a vegetated state, can only mutter incoherently, "What was that?" And meanwhile, nearby in the royal palace, a familiar King Vegeta of the Saiyans hears the massive commotion outside, ordering his men, "Guards, follow me! That sounded like a bomb blast. We may be under attack. Prepare yourselves!" And just like that, he bravely flies off in the direction of Bardock, with his men now in tow. "What? It cannot be!" But as he finally reaches the outside, him and all his guards included are left in shock at what they witness. "Lord Frieza!" As they watch a strangely familiar blonde-haired man viciously rain punches down on who was once their all-powerful and benevolent ruler, Frieza. Die! The pupilless Super Saiyan Bardock punches non-stop at such a speed it almost appears as he has 4 arms, with the planet itself shaking to its core with each hit. Little did Bardock know though, that under the intense beatdown, Frieza had already passed away, leaving the enraged Saiyan to beat down nothing more than a lifeless corpse. But in his final attack to make sure that his prey is dead, Bardock instantly grabs the head of Frieza with his thumbs in the bleeding mouth of the Emperor, and in brutal fashion rips clean in half the head of Lord Frieza. With not a scream in sight, the enraged Bardock finally realizes the battle is over and loosens his grip, now just panting. Frieza. And as he stands up, his aura continues to flux, like his energy hadn't let up at any moment, now with his body and face in plain sight. Meanwhile, King Vegeta and his men are then able to realize that this blonde-haired man is one of their own, saying, "Huh? My lord, That man! He has a tail! Huh? You're kidding! A Saiyan defeated Lord Frieza? Yes! Great work, soldier! What is your name? As in a roar of praise, King Vegeta and his men yell in happiness that their dictator has finally been slain, no less by a fellow Saiyan. But soon it becomes clear. The pupilless Super Saiyan Bardock is still far from himself, muttering even now over the lifeless body of his victim. Frieza, I will kill you! And instantly he then blasts off a massive beam of ki, this time in the direction of the sound he just heard, thinking it was Frieza once again. What is he doing? My lord, what do we do? As the king and his equally weak men just stare petrified like deers caught in headlights as the blast rushes closer and closer towards them. But in the nick of time, a pointy-haired figure appears before them, ready to intervene. Who's that? Another of our soldiers? And standing there is none other than Vegeta, still masked, but now forced to get involved for the sake of not interfering with the timeline too much. Killing Frieza early was one thing, but destroying the king of a warrior civilization was another, and with one hand, he attempts to stop Bardock's attack. Amazing! He sacrificed himself for us! What power though! But as King Vegeta and his men are blown away even by just the debris of the explosion, they soon realize the soldier that protected them is far from sacrificed. Still standing, but now with his armor and mask blown off, the Prince of all Saiyans remains, thinking to himself, that was stronger than it should have been. Whatever's happened to Bardock, now he's the threat here. But looking from behind, King Vegeta suddenly comes to a shocking realization. Who are you? No, do my eyes deceive me? Are you? But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag finale in the comments down below and let me know if you want the final part to this story before the new year. As always, you can fund my artwork and manga through my Patreon and unlock exclusive rewards, but for more of my content, just click on one of these two videos on the right now. Until next video, guys, cheers.